We begin tonight with a mother who says her son was harassed and assaulted at a Spokane Public School, and she doesn't feel the school did much to help. Now this as the school district is now under review by the FBI and the Spokane Police Department for complaints that the district is not reporting violent crimes happening at school.
This is part of an ongoing KREM 2 investigation into the newer safety model adopted by the district that discourages involving law enforcement. KREM 2's Laura Papetti is joining us live in the studio tonight with the story and how a mom says it's just not working. Laura?
That's right. We've been talking with parents and teachers about violence in the schools and how the district is responding. And the district says they have been working on this new model since about 2015, and it was really put into action in 2020. However, it's been a lot of new information to many parents that we've been talking to. So we've been requesting interviews with the district. And today, KREM 2 was scheduled to hear from the district and get some answers to our questions about this newer disciplinary model. But the district canceled that media conference. The district instead sent a letter that says, quote, "We are unable to answer any questions that could be perceived as relating to the current FBI review." However, we did talk with a local mother who says after her son was bullied for reporting some on-campus vandalism and then later assaulted. She says the school really didn't plan on calling police. However, she did. Here's her story.
There has long been more to school than reading, writing, and arithmetic. It has become a safe haven for many kids. But according to some parents that have reached out to KREM 2, some of the kids causing the violence are being protected at the cost of their own kids. The mom we spoke with says halls once serving as protected pathways can be just plain scary for victims of violence.
I want the school to stand up and really acknowledge what's going on.
Corey is a mother of a high school freshman at Spokane Public Schools, not wanting to identify herself for fear of retaliation against her son, who she says is already a victim of violence that's going unreported by the school.
It's been nonstop. My son will even text me through the day. Almost weekly they have lockdowns, fighting in the halls, claiming they have guns or knives or all kinds of things. Ignoring it is not working.
Corey contacted KREM 2, saying her son's journey into high school has been marred by violence. She gave us an example. She said after her son witnessed some kids vandalizing the bathroom, her 9th grader told an adult at school.
He just explained what he had seen, where it was, to his next period teacher.
The high school parent says that good deed triggered a vicious response.
So the friends took it upon themselves to go threaten my son, call him a snitch. They're also videoing it on their phone as they're threatening him, and he's visibly upset. Yeah, he's crying, and embarrassed, humiliated, and then that's when a staff member noticed.
Corey says her son was pulled into the office and spent hours waiting. Eventually, grandparents were called to come pick up her son, who was escorted out, but she says nothing was explained.
Nothing. No phone calls, no emails.
Corey says the violence escalated when a few weeks later, one of the students involved slapped a soda out of her son's hand before becoming more aggressive.
The kid dropped his backpack and just turned around and punched my son in the side of the face.
Her son came home that night but said nothing, not until Corey noticed his red cheek.
I immediately emailed the principal that night about what had happened.
Corey says a lackluster response from the school prompted her to call police and file a report.
Since you filed an actual report, response from the school?
Nothing. Not a thing.
Corey says it's the lack of reporting and the lack of response that angers her. Earlier this month, it angered local police as well, sparking a barrage of back and forth between law enforcement and the school district. However, at the center of all of it, families are left with students scared to go to school.
So no counselor, no security officer, nobody has contacted you or your son?
Nope.
All right. We did ask the school district questions related to this case, but they said they are unable to answer those questions at this time, again related to that FBI review. However, we did confirm with Spokane Police that while the mother did file a report, they said they did not find any evidence that the school called authorities about the reported assault. However, as we've been talking about, we did receive a letter from the district last night that addresses the shift in security protocol at local schools. And here are a few points from that letter. The district wrote, In part, quote, community members also voicing concerns about SPS having one of the highest suspension rates and arrest rates in the state, over 800 arrests per year. Several groups expressed their intent to file a civil lawsuit against the district if the causes weren't adequately identified and addressed. The district goes on to say in the letter that it spent 5 years working with the community groups and studying the issue before adopting a new security and disciplinary model in 2020. And the letter says, quote, the model is having a positive impact. Total district-wide exclusions, we're talking suspensions and expulsions, have fallen from more than 4,000 in the 2014-15 school year to under 2,000 this school year. So a lot to talk about there. So we have posted the letter on KREM.com, and we'll continue to tell these stories regarding this new version of security at our schools. Back to you.